Hello, everyone. All right, this is Lord Magicus, and it is time for more Merfolk and Legacy. All right, so I need to get one more stream in at least here, so I can be somewhat sure of what it is I want to play this weekend. So, all right, everything looks like it should be good. Yeah, we got volume here. We got a deck list. Yeah, we're fine. Look at how fine it is. All right, we're live. So, yeah. All right. Yeah. SCG Philly is this weekend. So Modern is on Saturday. They will have two Modern 10Ks on Saturday, and Legacy is on Sunday. And as I look at it now, currently there's a cap of 400 players, and they're at 263 out of 400 enrolled in it. So that's not too bad for this event here. We are up to 263 people signed up. So. And it's been going up steadily every day. So we'll have pretty decent crowd there for Legacy on Sunday. All right. So last time I figured, all right, we lost a Delver twice, and that's unacceptable. So we're making some changes to how this works. I cut one Borrower, and I cut the two other 3-drop slots. Tried Sphaloon, which was fine. We tried Breach or Hull Breacher, which is fine, but instead we're gonna go with 3 Harbinger of the Tides because Harbinger is really good against setting back Delver and Murktide. So, and it's also something we can play that's uncounterable with Cavern of Souls and also Aether Vial, which I think will help against them too. Yeah, so that gives us 6 main deck bounce effects. I mean, this should help improve the matchup against stuff like Merit Lodge a little bit as well. So I'm hoping that this works, and I mean, that's also cool because you can kind of combo it with Glasspool Mimic, so you can repeatedly bounce stuff using Harbinger. Hoping that this does what I need it to do here. And then sideboard here, I've adjusted it a little bit. We're instead of playing Vapor Snag, we're gonna try Suspend because I was looking to see if there's other 1-drop interaction we want to try that might actually be good. And so Vapor Snag is fine against stuff like Murktide, but it's actually really bad against like Dragon's Rage Channeler, and I wanted a card that was a little bit better against it. So Suspend guarantees that it's going to leave the battlefield for at least a turn or two, depending upon when you use it, right? So you will give yourself more time with it, and they don't have to spend the 1 mana to put it back in play, but you buy yourself a lot of time with Suspend. It's also really, really good against Merit Lodge because it just exiles it. So it's the same thing as like Snag against it. If you just like suspend Merit Lodge, that's great. It does what you need it to do there too. So I think it covers a lot of the same area that Snag does, but I'm hoping that against Delver it will slow them down a little bit more. So by the time that things come off Suspend, they'll probably be dead, hopefully. So our main deck is a little bit more tuned against them, but the sideboard is a little bit less tuned against them. We're going with 3 cages, 4 negations, 3 Null Rods, 3 Dismembers, and then 2 of that. So the Force will help shore up the combo matches a little bit more. So, I mean, it's definitely possible to just go 3 and then maybe like 3 Suspend. We'll see. But, I mean, overall, like, it's pretty close either way. So we'll see how this performs. So there we go. That's what we're rolling with. I am starting a little bit earlier today, and I know Nikachu's still streaming, so we probably won't have everybody here that we would normally have. But maybe Nikachu will join us with a raid later. Who knows? It's possible. All right. Let's go back. Here we go. We have our chat. So I am actually going to be doing the Shit Show podcast tonight. So definitely, I will tweet out a link to that when we're going. Should be between 9:30 or 9 to 9:30 Eastern time. So shortly after the stream. But that's why we're starting a little bit earlier today. So I need to make sure that I have enough time to finish this and get there in time. So the leagues have just reset, so there's not like a huge number of people in them right now. But let's hope that it doesn't take too long to find opponents. But this, yeah, like you can see, There are exactly 2 people who have gotten a trophy so far, only 117 people, because they just updated and reset all the leagues because of Kamigawa. The cards are out. I don't know if they're legal today or if they're legal tomorrow. I know you can buy them on MTGO today if you can get like packs of it, but I don't remember exactly the day it's legal. It might be legal now, or the legality may go on tomorrow. I think that it's now. I'm not sure. Hold on. Oh, let me see if I can find it. Because it's not legal in paper for like another 2 weeks. But I don't remember exactly what time it is they allow you to play with it on MTGO. But yeah, things are probably gonna like the leagues are gonna be a little bit sparse until then. Damn it, we're already 2 minutes in here. Somebody play Legacy with me. Our hopes and dreams are answered. I don't know. We might see stuff because like there definitely are cards that we can expect to see from Kamigawa if they're legal. So we're up against PA Rude. We're on the play. This hand's actually not all that good. Yeah, I don't like it a whole lot. We do have Mutavault. We just I don't know. Like it's like 3 threats and 4 lands. I guess I'm gonna keep it, but I really don't like this there very much. I just lead on Island Pass, but I don't know. Like we have both of the good lands, so and we have basics, which means we're not gonna die to like Wasteland. I guess we're just hoping for the best here. Yeah, like we definitely could mulligan, but it could also go way worse if we mulligan too. So I don't know. Now that's not a good sign. Swamp Pass is not great. So maybe like Fatal Push is a thing here. Okay. This might be Entomb. Yeah, we might be up against Reanimator right now. Okay. I don't know. Maybe so. This might do something. If it's Reanimator, they might be relying on like 1 land in order to get them there. Which they would respond. No, nope. They don't do anything with it. Nothing interesting. Snow-covered swamp. Okay, Chalice on 1 is not gonna do anything. Okay. So what the fuck is playing Chalice on 1 in this? All right. Sure, man. Okay, I guess we're gonna play Lord of Atlantis and Mutavault, and then next turn. I don't want to. I don't know that I want to play True-Name right now. Like, I could play it now, but it's. I don't think it's necessary to do it right now. I want to play this first. Maybe I'll play Trickster next turn. It's possible because they could have like Plague Engineer, and I don't want to run my True-Name Nemesis into an Engineer if I don't have to. Or they could have a sweeper of some kind. So I think this is a sufficient clock here. They just conceded. Okay, so they're just like mono black, just losing to fucking 2 creatures in play. I have no idea what to do here. Like, Chalice seems really poor against us. Okay. Let me. I have no idea what the hell that is even plays this. So, all right, let's see. Chalice of the Void and Snow-covered Swamp. And Legacy. Okay. Can we find anything? Maybe this is it. Demon Stompy Curses? Okay, so we could see a bunch of curse nonsense. So forces might be where we want to go here. They have stuff like Trinisphere, Leyline of the Void, Karn, Helm of Obedience. This could be what we're up against. Curse Prison. Okay, I see a couple lists like this, so it looks like Force of Negation is probably where we want to be at with this. And I think that let's just take another. Yeah, okay. They have like opposition agent. Well, we don't search our deck, so that's totally pointless. But I think we can take out Harbinger of the Tides. Harbinger doesn't seem like it's going to do anything. They do have a Curse of Death's Hold, but they only have one in their deck, so it's not that big a deal. Otherwise, I think this True-Name is going to be pretty fine. Tide Shaper is probably going to be terrible against them. Because they do have Chalice. Right? I don't think that there's anything else we need. Some okay, yeah. I don't think that it's either that or actually, no. They're probably gonna cut Chalice if I have to take a guess. Maybe I cut a Lord of Atlantis. It was like this isn't a deck where we really need Island Walk that badly. If this is what I'm seeing here, so this is probably actually knowing what we know now, we might actually want to force because they kept 7 cards, which means they can like turn one just play something ridiculous. So I'm more inclined to keep this because we have Brazen Borrower here. So if whatever they play, we can theoretically just bounce it. I guess I can put an island in the bottom. They're not a wasteland deck. Still lets us cast everything. Okay, I think I'm just gonna play the Tide Shaper for my curve. That's fine. Borrower gives us something to do against them, so if they jam some nonsense out, then we're okay with that. Okay, Merfolk, good. Okay, so we're gonna cast the Master of the Pearl Trident here. Just in case, I doubt that they are playing with Cabal Therapy, but they could be. Okay. Let's get rid of the Tide Shaper. The Lords are more important because they do have stuff that like gives everything -1/-1. But yeah, just fuck me. They have Urza Saga. Why would they not have Urza Saga? All right, that's fine. We just threw away Tide Shaper in this thing. All right, it's fine. Okay, that's not actually that big a problem here. It turns off our forces though, unfortunately. I guess that could have been on Rogue now that I reconsider this. Because I can't cast the Brazen Borrower here. I have to pay 3 mana for this anyway. The True-Name can attack through the stupid constructs. They're definitely building, like, they could very easily play, like, a Curse of Death's Hold or something. Okay, well, that's fine. So it's going to cost 3 mana if I want to play this Lord of Atlantis. I can actually cast Borrower now. If they put a token in a play, it would trade with Master. Otherwise, like, True-Name's just fine. I have the ability to bounce a token. But I probably need to save Brazen Borrower. I'm going to say, let's play Lord of Atlantis, because then we can get in and attack pretty well. Like, they won't be able to activate and then also block with a 2/2. So we can attack for more damage now. Okay. That's probably for the best because now we're protecting ourselves against edicts a little bit more. So let's see. I don't think they're gonna actually make a construct here. That seems unlikely to me. Because it's going to take up their whole turn for, like, nothing. Really? You're not doing anything else, like... I can attack past it easily. Like, True-Name's just going to attack you, and then I still have Brazen Borrower. Oh, no, okay. No, that's smart. They got Chrome Mox, so they can play a land here and actually, like, cast a spell. Alright. No, well, okay, they don't have another land. Interesting. So it's a 3/3 here. I'm not really scared of this token. I guess, let's see, I can attack with... Yeah, we could bounce the Mox, but I'm not sure that we need to be honest. Like, it seems like their problem is they're just stuck with a bunch of cards in hand. They don't really have anything. Yeah, so, like, if the worst thing they can play in 5 mana, I think, is Curse of Death's Hold, and I'm not very afraid of that. It's possible that I could bounce this thing and then attack for 6 and then potentially kill them next turn. That might make the most amount of sense here. Right? Because they'll go to 8 and then we play Master next turn, then an attack for 8. So I believe if they have nothing, then they just die. So I think that's what we're going to go with. I want to try to kill them before they can actually cast any spell that matters. And if they draw like an Ancient Tomb and cast, you know, the Betrayal, then... Well, I guess, yeah, that's true. I could make the same bounce next turn. But this does mean if they draw like Ancient Tomb, like, I guess, I don't know, like maybe they can't use it. They have to be scared here, because if they go to 6, they're dead. Yeah, that's true. It is safer versus Bridge. Toxic Deluge. Okay, see, that's... Well, see, that's the other thing. Like, I didn't want to commit more creatures to the board in the face of stuff like Deluge, so... I think this is fine. I believe I just pass here and flash in Borrower at the end of their turn. And then, yeah, that's still a 2-turn clock. So yeah, like, they still have cards like that in their deck that we have to be concerned about. I can just hardcast the Force here if need be, so... Karn the Great Creator. I believe I have to force that. Yeah, if I don't force... Like, this card is actually going to... They had to have just drawn this. Like, this is not okay, because it will find, like, a number of things that just ruin our lives. We're 2 attacks from killing them, not 1, so... Alright, well, now they have to fear, like, Force of Will, but I still can just flash in Borrower and have them dead in 2 turns. Well, there's the Tomb. Alright, let's see what happens here. I like to always just tap a Cavern, even if it's not the right creature type, just to screw with the opponent. Like, because they might see you, okay, you tapped a Cavern and just forget what it named. So, there's always the possibility that's like, oh, well, you tapped Cavern, so maybe that means I'm screwed. Okay, go to 3, I guess. They can make 2 things. I could deploy Vial, or I could deploy Silvergill. It's close between the two. Playing Vial is definitely reasonable. If the game does go longer for some stupid reason, then playing Vial actually does make sense. The only thing that I'm considering is, like, well, they're going to have a construct to block whatever I play here, so either this is going to kill them next turn, or they're not going to die. So, yeah, I actually do like the line of playing Vial. Because any card we draw off Silvergill, we can't actually cast anyway, so... Yep, that's fine. So they have to find something right now to deal with Borrower or they lose. So maybe we'll see a draw step concede, but the only other thing though is like playing Silvergill would play around them having like another sudden edict. If they like top decked an edict here, like we would actually be able to win by playing Silvergill. So there is that. Retro. Okay, so they can sacrifice a Thopter. Okay, but they don't have any. This doesn't have flying, right? So doesn't this mean you just like lose? I guess they could have something, but I don't see how making a servo token is really helping their cause right now. Come on, draw force. That's not terrible. Okay, so don't. I guess this is fine, right? Even if they found a way to like use this thing, I would still be able to deal with it. Okay. What are you gonna do with this? Like I can just tap the Trickster here, or play the Trickster and tap the creature with flying. It's over. You don't have a flyer. All right, die. We are very tricksy, and they're out of mana. Good games. This is a really neat deck. I think this is the first time I've ever played against this. But it looks like Urza Saga definitely makes this. It gives this deck some really cool lines to it. So, like, I wasn't expecting them to get Chrome Mox, but it actually makes a lot of sense when you have a Trinisphere in play. Like, definitely, if they have stuff like Toxic Deluge a lot earlier, like, and especially in multiples, that can be really bad. So, there are a lot of cards that deck could play that are just potentially devastating. We only had one force, so could have been bad, but we get there. Like these decks tend to be really clunky against like, so they're great against unfair decks like Storm and stuff usually, but they tend to be really bad against like stupid fair creature decks like Merfolk. Same thing with like Red Prison. Like, okay, you play Chalice of the Void, or okay, I have uncounterable stuff anyway. I put it in through Vial or use Cavern of Souls, or like, they play Blood Moons. Like, all right, well, I have 12 basic islands in my deck. Like, I can play through that pretty easily. So, yeah, it's a lot of the prison decks just don't have cards that interact very well. Like, same thing with like Trinisphere. It's like if you play Vial in turn one, Trinisphere looks stupid. So you go like Vial and they respond on on the draw with Trinisphere. Like, it does nothing. All right. I don't need Wenzi Seppi. Okay, sure. So yeah, gotcha. Know you. Yeah, exactly. This hand's fine. We'll keep it. I might not want to play Tide Shaper on turn one here. I don't know what I'm up against. I might need it, so I'm gonna pass because I think this Tide Shaper might be worth more if we know what we're up against. Like if we're up against an Urza Saga deck, we want to keep this. Underground Sea is not a good start. Oh God, fuck me. All right, we're up against like Doomsday. Okay, well they're just gonna get us here. Um, so wait, if can we draw force like next turn and like actually win? They just are fucking going off here. Turn one Doomsday, man. Like so that's a thing. What does their stack like look like? Do they just put like a bunch of street wraiths and is there anything we can do here? Because they need to play Oracle, right? What is the pile that they go for in this scenario? Well, yeah, there's a cavern in there too, but are they going to cast another spell besides Oracle? They might take a turn. Okay, so that's possible. So yeah, all right, then yeah, we probably like I assume that we are just going to lose to this. I guess it depends on how they construct their pile, in which case playing Tide Shaper in turn 1 might have actually been beneficial. They have to draw all 5 cards though, because we do have the Brazen Borrower, so their library does have to be empty when they win, or otherwise we just bounce Oracle and no, well, it's still, yeah, that still wouldn't do, yeah, no, if right, no, it still doesn't work because they can just recast it the next turn if there's 1 card left. Yeah, I don't think that, yeah, it is probably, yeah, I don't think we can do anything, but we get to look at all the cards at least. I don't need to tell them what we're on. You know, Force of Will, Murktide. They have Murktide Regents in here. I had no idea. This actually makes a lot of sense. I know this was a new card they started playing. Malevolent Hermit. Yeah, Murktide is actually really funny. I agree. Um, I guess here, like, so yeah, I don't see any street wraiths here, so I'm assuming they did exactly what you were saying, where they stacked them all, and yeah, even if we bounced it, like they would just play it the turn afterwards when they draw a card and we'd still die. So I think the best thing to do is just not tell them what we're doing, and we'll just concede, because they are definitely going to win with Oracle, because I don't see Oracle in that pile. We need Force of Negation for this, basically. Um, Otherwise, I don't think any of the rest of these cards actually do anything. So, True-Name Nemesis, I don't need you for this. Yeah, this is usually just like a force check. They just went for it in turn 1 and they just had it. Harbinger I'm willing to keep because they do have Murktide, so it's worth having it. Alright. We just got force checked. As funny as it would be to do that again, I want to actually keep a force. I think this is much better. Here we go. Like now we're fine here. We'll put Borrower on the bottom. Like this gives us a chance, so they're not just gonna like turn 1 us. We'll definitely be playing Silvergill next turn. Do it. Do you have force? Oh, they have fucking Thoughtseize. Alright, well they're gonna take my Force of Negation. So I guess what I have to have happen is I have to like play Silvergill and draw another force. Alright, well I guess if this is just how it is, this is just how it is, so. They might go for it here if they have it. So they know the coast is clear. Now the awkward thing is if I actually draw force, I can't cast the fucking Master of the Pearl Trident. Okay. Yeah, you got it. I don't have the force. All right, well that was rough. We got force checked on in turn 1, and then they just had Thoughtseize into like the combo in turn 2. So rough. That sucks. I don't really have like we have 8 forces, and that's pretty much what we're relying on. We don't have anything else for that. There's not a whole lot we can do about it. That they're playing like Thoughtseize, and they have like Thoughtseize and Force of Will in their deck, so going off that early makes it really hard to pressure their life total enough where you can actually kill them before they can get the combo. Because the thing is, like, if you lower their life total enough, like, you get them to, like, 14 life and then they Doomsday, put themselves to 7, like, that can actually be a point where, like, okay, they cast the Doomsday, go to 7, but then you attack them and they don't have enough life to pay for the Street Wraith cycles. So, yeah, like, you could definitely put them low enough if you can get, like, 1 or 2 attacks in, like, that casting Doomsday is a liability, but when they just go off and turn 1 or 2 with the protection, like, you're fucked. So it's rough, but you know what? That's part of Legacy. It. I tell people, like, you know, that the entire format's not like that, but there are some decks that are like that. So they're just like force check decks. That's it. You have to have a critical mass of Legacy players playing enough forces, and that's all. So, okay, Oink Mage. What do we got? We're on the draw here. So on the draw, what are we gonna be doing? Come on, let's see. I'm willing to keep this. Like, if we're up against Delver, this is probably fine. Okay. Like, if we can draw, like, a Harbinger or something, that would be pretty fantastic. Sure, I can play this on Merfolk here. So I have this blocker. They're not going to be dazing my creatures. If they want to burn Wasteland on my Cavern here, like, that would be a little bit rough, but sure. But it does mean Delver's not attacking me, so... Alright, well, we gotta be worried about, like, Brainstorm now. So here's the thing, I have to actually attack, because if I don't attack, I'm, like, they could flip Delver and I'm not blocking them, so... This didn't really work out the way we needed it to. I don't know, so I guess sometimes it's like, do you worry about days, or like, oh fuck, they flip. They just blind flip Delver. Nice. And we need, like, Harbingers right now. We don't yeah, they have Bolt, but where are you gonna play your... Do you have the lands, or are you gonna look for it first? Okay. This is gonna... We need to interact with these things really, really quickly, or we're gonna die. Yep. I guess. It did end up being worse, yeah. In retrospect, I probably would not do that again. I mean, I also wasn't counting on them playing another Delver right away. Uh... But, I mean, if it was just one, then, like, that would be fine, but two is a lot. We don't have, like, any of our actual interactive creatures for this. But, I mean, maybe if we had, like, True-Name out a turn earlier, that could help. But we're taking... We're taking effectively, like, 9 damage this turn. We're dead in 2 turns because of Lightning Bolt. And they are not dead in 2 turns. So we definitely needed to have Harbinger to bounce these things this turn. Failing that, like, we're going to 5 life here, and, like, if we don't deal with one of these right and this turn, we're lost. So, well, they held the bolt back. Like, yeah, they cast the Brainstorm instead. Is this Murktide? Are we just dead no matter what? It looks like it. Okay, so yeah, there's no hope here. All right, we drew nothing that interacted with them, so I guess we need Suspend here. We need to take out Force of Will. I guess I'll keep 2 of them. Like, they're in the deck for a reason, but we didn't find them, so it wasn't really helping us either way. This is also part of the problem. When they have, like, 2 of them really early, it's very, very hard to deal with. This is definitely better. So if they play creatures, we can just bounce them forever. Yep. Okay. I am going to have to show them the Harbinger. But Silvergill is a good draw. And we got another basic island, so that's nice. This looks a lot better for us. Alright, Chain Lightning on top. They can Wasteland Cavern here. That's fine. And they play another Delver. Okay. I guess I'm going to attack with this first. Because if they trade creatures, that's always great. Yeah, we definitely want to bounce this. Alright. No flip, so let's see what they want to do here. Delver. If they don't play Chain Lightning, that's actually pretty good too. I think here I might play the Tide Shape. I guess, or I could play the Aether Vial. Maybe hold up the Suspend. I don't really care if they trade with these things. Yeah, I like Vial Suspend here. I don't need to cast it just yet. I can wait. Sure. Because they don't know it's coming. I think I can do it now. Or actually, no, I want to wait till their upkeep, right? I don't want to cast it right. I want to wait until they like do this in their upkeep. So what are we gonna see? Pyroblast maybe? Okay. Sure. So we're now in a position where we can actually race them. If they attack here, like we can just play, I don't know, Glasspool Mimic, or we could play Harbinger. Playing Harbinger is probably safer. Um, this seems fine. I guess the only, yeah, I don't want to play the Glasspool if I don't have to here. Let's see. Let's attack with these two first. Yeah, I think I want to tick Vial up to 3 for this thing. I guess the question is, do I want to cast Harbinger now or later? I guess I should do it now in case they draw Wasteland. Because I don't want them to Wasteland Cavern and then I'm not able to flash it in anymore. So, let's not dick around with this. This sets them back a fair bit. Okay, sure. Interesting. I guess we have to be worried about Murktide, possibly. So, what happens here? We know they have... Yeah, okay, there's that. That doesn't kill us. Interesting. All right, so how do I go about this here? Um, I guess I'm losing if they have another lightning bolt or pyroblast in hand. They don't know what their top card is, so there's no guarantee this is gonna flip. I guess the worst case scenario is I can vial in the master and then play the Glasspool and see what happens. Because if the Glasspool resolves and it copies the master, then we are probably gonna win. Does that work? I don't think it. Not quite. They would only go to 1. They could still like. I think basically it comes down to if they have a removal spell, we lose, but if they don't, we win. So is it worth? No, what I would want to do is I violin master, then I cast Glasspool Mimic, and then depending upon whether they respond to it or not, I was thinking about if they like respond by bolting master, um, then I'd copy Harbinger of the Tides, bounce this Delver, then I could potentially like block and then just take 7 from this thing. But but I was also thinking like if this copies master and I have 2 of these here, they could still win with a bolt just by bolting one of the actual creatures. And then they only take 6 damage. They go to 1 and then they still would kill us. So basically either way, if they have a bolt, they win, and I can't really play around that. So I think the winning thing to do here is to just violin master and then just attack, because if they don't have it, they'll still die anyway. But if they do have it, then it might be it might be possible to just like, depending on how they block here, maybe I can cast this Glasspool and like Harbinger will bounce this thing. Or you know what? I could just cast Glasspool first, right? Because if I cast it first and copy the Harbinger, then I can bounce this thing, so it gives us a potential to win either way. Alright, you know what? That's also possible too. I could cast it and then copy Silvergill looking for Suspend. So I think that either way, I think I need to cast Glasspool right now. And then that will inform our decision a little bit more as to what we're doing here. The thing is, if they draw an instant or sorcery, Delver will flip and kill us. Well, the thing is, right now this doesn't have flying, so we could, in theory, block Delver, and then, this will go away. So like Murktide would only hit for 7, and we wouldn't be dead. But I guess it doesn't really make a difference, because if they have the bolt, it's still not going to matter. So I think your line is actually better. Copy Silvergill Adept and look for a Suspend. I like that more. Alright. Well, we just have to go for it now and just see if they have it. They haven't conceded yet, so that makes me feel like they have it. Yeah, that does it. Nothing we could do about that. Harbinger definitely helped. But we needed to just, I don't know. Their draws were pretty aggressive, and we didn't have enough of the interaction early enough, I think. I don't know. It's maybe if I add another to Suspend to the sideboard, that could help. Because yeah, if we drew Suspend there, like bouncing or like exiling the Murktide could actually matter. So that was possible. All right. I guess, but we're on the draw here. I don't think we can keep this. No. This seems like it's a lot better. I'm gonna keep this. I think I'm getting rid of Mutavault, because I don't know if this is a match where I need Force of Will or not. But otherwise, this is fine. Fucking snow-covered forest, huh? Well, if this is a snow-covered forest match, then I think I'm keeping this Tide Shaper for the time being. There's a lot of ways that this is either force food or this is going to do something devastating to like an important land. So okay, so I'm not really a fan of that. Sylvan Library I think has to get forced. They're like this is too much. I can't let them do that. All right. So this could be like a Dark Depths deck. This I guess this could be like a loam deck. Or yeah, they're pretty similar. I mean, we might see a Knight of the Reliquary. Should not be great. But we can attack into a Knight of the Reliquary, which would be cool. Because if they block, we can actually kill it with Trickster. Okay. Alright, attack. You are not going to block this. Don't even pretend. Come on. If they don't block, I will probably just play another Silvergill Adept here. Yeah, I didn't think so. Alright, Merfolk Tricksters for days. We need Merfolk here. So I have to pressure them as quickly as possible. The Knight of the Reliquary can definitely pull out a Dark Depths combo on us if we're not careful. So, it could be going a lot worse. This is not the worst like turn 4 that we've ever seen. Sometimes you could be dead by now. Like they could just have both, have depth and make a lodge. But Blast Zone's pretty brutal. All right. I don't think they're blocking here. Oh, well, that's also pretty awesome, too, because now I can turn off Blast Zone. Alright. Again, if they block, I will just cast Trickster. It's worth getting rid of Knight of the Reliquary. Okay, sure. Let the damage happen first so that removal's not going to save their Knight. Because, like, they could Swords to Plowshares, say, your Silvergill Adept in response to, like, you casting Trickster if you do it before damage happens. So just let the Knight take the damage first and then use the Trickster. Because then it will become a 2-2 and then it'll die from having 2 damage on it. Very subtle but important nuance to that. Like, don't let them save their creature with, like, a Swords. Okay, well that's not great, but we can live with this. There's a Wasteland. Okay. It's fine, I guess. What are you doing with this? Unless I have, like, Veil of Summer main deck, that would be terrible. Alright, they charged up Blast Zone. Okay, I expected that to happen. They need 3 mana for this thing, so... I mean... What's going to happen is we're going to attack with both of these, and then after they throw away Blast Zone, then I can cast Tide Shaper. Alright, well how about this? You are casting the fucking, or you're using the Blast Zone right now. I'm not giving you the option. You either do it now or it's Sin Island. Alright. Have fun, opponent. Decide what you're doing. It's still possible they could have, like, Swords to Plowshares and Tide Shaper and then, like, next turn crack it. Or just hold it up longer, but I'm trying to entice them into just using it right now so I can play creatures next turn. And it looks like they're going to go for it. Sure. Okay. Excellent. So Blast Zone is dealt with. Knight's dealt with. We're not doing bad. Fuck. Alright. We're not doing bad. Okay. I have to play this right now before they find another wasteland and take away my Cavern of Souls. I can't attack with Tideshaper here, but this does put us a lot closer. So True-Name puts us within 3 attacks of killing them, which is nice. If we could draw another land, that would actually be pretty awesome. So, and Trickster does buy us a turn if we need to save this for like a Merit Lodge or something. But yeah, right now they're in a position where they need to deal with this True-Name because this is probably going to kill them before Night kills us. And it only gets worse from here. Once we start playing Lords and they attack for more damage. Like, if Knight attacks here, I think I would probably just take the damage. Because then I can play, like, Lord of Atlantis, and then this attacks for 4, and this attacks for 2, so that puts them dead within 1 turn instead of 2. Okay. Now they're just doing stuff right now, so we could be in trouble. The problem... Okay, Scrubland. That's probably not good. Because I kind of want to play a Lord here in case they do find, like, Engineer. Only casting for 4 mana. That can't be fantastic. Green Sun Zenith for 3. Does this mean you're getting another Knight? Okay. It's not great. Well, that's sort of fine. So what this does is I can play Lord of Atlantis and attack with both of these dummies, and then, again, it kills them within a turn. They block with Knight, I can just cast Trickster and kill it, and then this Knight's not going to be able to kill us, so... yeah, I don't think they're going to block, but... And then otherwise, I can just wait for them to attack on their turn and then use Trickster. Alright. Okay. Let's just kill this now. Because I don't think with 1 Knight they're going to be able to get there. It's unlikely. Like, now they're in a position where they have to have, like, removal or they're going to lose, so... Okay, well, that's not... Okay, well, that's not great, but I think we still are okay. I think we just win here, right? Because they have to block... No, we drew another Lord, so yeah, we win. Now, otherwise, they would be able to block 2 things, but now we just play 2 Lords and that kills them. Send in True-Name and they die. Well, not necessarily. They're not, like, 1,000% dead yet. They still have Night tricks they can do. They sacrifice a forest. They could potentially do stuff here. Like, if you sack a forest, you could find, like, find a plains, cast swords to plowshares on your own creature, gain a bunch of life. There were lines like that, but barely managed to get there. Alright. We need Dismember against this deck. This is not really a deck that I like Force of Will for. Like, it's Force does some stuff, but I don't know, it's not great. We have to take out 3 cards. Like, Borrower has flying and it's not a merfolk, so it's actually kind of fine against Engineer. Like, maybe, like, Harbinger, again, is, like, sort of fine against, like, because it does have 2 toughness. Like, maybe I take out 1 Silvergill and 2 forces. I'll leave, like, 2 in. Or I could take out a Tideshaper, but Tideshaper does do stuff, because they do have stuff like, I think, Urza Saga in their deck to kill, And it does deal with Blast Zone, or at least force them to deal with the Tide Shaper first. Can also sometimes just get there with Island Walk. Like, it is a neat trick. So Gil is like, they're all like, it's all sort of like, I don't know. I still have to cut one card. Like, yeah, it's none of these are particularly fantastic. I mean, I guess I could cut one of these. Like, maybe Silvergill's slightly better because it replaces itself. Like, Dismember does help when we have it, but we also have to have more answers to their nonsense than they have actual creatures. Alright. Force is not useless against them. It's just, you're playing versus a fair deck, so 2 for 1ing yourself is usually not a good plan. This is unfortunately, it looks like it's okay, but I don't think it actually is, because we can't really, we're not casting our merfolks here. Like, the Dismember's not bad, but like, we also are on 2 non-basic lands, which means Wasteland is going to really hurt us, so, you know, if they Wasteland this Cavern of Souls, we are never casting any of these spells. So I don't think this is keepable. I believe this is actually a lot better. I will put 1 Borrower on the bottom, and then we're probably ticking Vial up to 3, and hoping that does the job. Alright, there's Mox Diamond. So we do have Borrower in case they... Well, we need to draw another land, but like ideally this would be great if they try to like lodge us out. Fucking turn 1 Knight of the Reliquary was rough. Alright. We really need to draw more lands, though. This thing's gonna just fucking murder us. If I can draw another land and, like, Trickster and block this thing, that actually would be fantastic. I would love that. But if I can get True-Name online, like, we actually could have a chance there, too. This is really dependent on a land this turn. That's not great. Well, they're going to lose the... Yeah, so I guess they might just get another Mox Diamond next turn. It's possible, or... Like, there's tons of options. Like, a Shadow Spear could definitely be our undoing as well. Yeah, that's not good. The only good news is they don't have Trample, so if I can get True-Name in play, can at least, like, salvage something against this nonsense. Alright, so they have 0 lands. They just got nothing? Like, the only thing they had in their deck was Mox Diamonds? I think I'm supposed to take 8 here? I don't think throwing away Tide Shaper in this is really worth that much. I want to hold it up for, like, next turn, and then... If I can, like, Petty Theft this construct and then, like, Trickster block this thing, I could actually be back in this game. So I guess I'm taking 8. I'm going to put the Tide Shaper in play, though. Alright, this is... Like, land here would be devastatingly awesome. That's... Fuck. Alright, Alright, I guess this is what's happening here. I'm just hoping they can't do anything, and then Trickster just kills this, and then maybe next turn True-Name can wall this off. That's the plan. We can protect from, like, a Swords to Plowshares. I'll probably pitch the Master of the Pearl Trident. I think that's the safest thing to do. I definitely want to get this True-Name in play. Alright, what's going on here? If they play Plague Engineer, I'm definitely countering it. No! Fuck! Alright, we are on the draw lands plan. God damn it. That was like the one thing I could not beat Abrupt Decay. Fuck. Alright. We have to draw a land so I can fucking petty theft this card or I die. Alright. I can cast exactly one Force of Will for the rest of this game. So it better count. That's gonna be the one. Are you fucking kidding me? And we're just we're losing because we just never drew our second land. If they have like a Swords to Plowshares, I'm just dead. Yeah, we actually die to that. They just exile Tide Shaper and we lose. All right. We were so close to actually winning that game. We were like right there. I don't know. If we drew the second land, like I think we easily could have like stabilized that game and just crushed them. Again, one land, I can't keep that against this deck. I guess I can keep this. I don't really care for this Force of Will right now. At least if they play a turn 1 Knight, I can just dismember it. They do nothing on turn. Well, yeah, okay, that's fine. Fuck. If they ever play Plague Engineer, like these are so toast, but what are you gonna do? I have to like try to attack them aggressively. You don't win the long game against this deck. That was their only other land was a Dryad Arbor. Alright, maybe we're not that far off from here. Because, like... Okay, so they might tap this thing to play Knight. We could potentially draw a land and just be awesome here. So I don't think they're not blocked. Like, they're probably going to tap this thing. If I draw a land, I can dismember, like, a Knight here and then play Harbinger and bounce their Dryad Arbor, which would be great. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. I mean, it doesn't really work out the way I wanted it to. It's not terrible either, though. Like, this might just be a scenario where if we bounce this Dryad Arbor here, they can't make a construct with Urza Saga. Like, what are they going to do with Knight? Like, probably not very much, and I can still dismember it next. Well, I have to be careful because they can always give it protection from black on a future turn, so... Now, I think the correct thing to do is actually kill this before they can find before they can find the answer to this dismember. It's close. It is so close between like bouncing this thing and killing this thing, but the problem is once Knight untaps, if they leave it back on defense, you can't actually kill it. That might be okay though, because they're like their mana is going to be really constrained. Because if they were to like make a construct next turn, like, well, I guess they don't have to do it right away. Fuck. All right. You know what? I'm gonna attack and then see what happens here. I'm gonna bounce the Dryad Arbor because the Urza Saga is gonna go away and they're probably not gonna get any good value off of it. Their mana seems like it sucks, so like we should just pressure it. Yeah, let's definitely bounce this thing. So now they're not gonna get a construct here. Like if they just replay Arbor, they don't have the mana for a construct. Or they'd have to like tap Knight and sack this thing to like get it. But if they tap the Knight in order to like make a construct, then they're tapped out for Dismember, which is fine. And we're still pressuring them their life a lot. It's not bad. I think here I think we just attack with everything. So again, if they tap this and sacrifice this thing thinking it's going to be a 3/3 to like eat Lord of Atlantis, I can still dismember it before that happens. They'll be tapped out, so I think this is still a safe attack. Or they might even consider making a construct. Yeah, like I don't think that they're getting rid of this. I think it's actually pretty safe to attack here because again, if they tap this Knight, then they're risking it dying, and we do have the ability to punish it. But we're all their life total is getting incredibly low, so I want to very aggressively attack them before they can like stabilize with their mana here. So then like yeah, like okay, they'll make a construct, but if they do, like they don't really have any game left. So they'll still be taking a boatload of damage here. Okay, that's fine. I think I'm very okay with this, actually. Okay. So they're going to search for something here. So does it matter what they search for? I don't think so. I think it's okay to let them search. Because the Sageri, if they give it pro blue, I can still dismember it in response. Okay, that seems like that's okay. I'm fine to let those trade. You want to abrupt decay my lord, while I want to dismember your knight. Sure. Alright, so if they could make one construct here, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think their land is not great at the moment. This still seems okay. Their hand is really clunky at the moment, so yeah, I guess they might just play another knight here. They discarded a wasteland so they could put Mox in play. Alright. So our turn's very likely just play Master Attack with these two dummies. I guess the way that it sucks is if they draw, like, if they have another knight to play, that would be bad. Or if, like, maybe Plague Engineer would be awful, but that's not the end of the world either. I could just bounce this thing. They're really struggling on mana. Bouncing the Mox Diamond is also an option. Now, if they draw a land, they'll probably just replay it. But I could just bounce the Knight of the Reliquary here so it doesn't get to actually do anything. They could waste their entire turn replaying it, and then they're at 8. Like, that seems fine. We're just trying to tempo our way to victory. Again, if we can find a land to get this True-Name in play, that would be great. But I think I might want to play the Master first. They did find another land, so that's not great. They're still kind of stuck on one card a turn. With 6 cards in hand, like, they definitely just top deck that Bayou. So maybe they're holding like a bunch of knights and like Plague Engineer and Sylvan Library or something like that. Okay. Sure, you have another knight. Alright, so the thing is, like, they definitely could have another Plague Engineer. Or they could have that in hand. If they don't, like, the True-Name would be really devastating against them, but if they have the Engineer, like, I'm in trouble. I could try to go for Silvergill, or I could just try to play Master. Definitely things to consider right now. Playing Master and attacking puts them to 5, which is not terrible because it still does take a turn off the clock from either Borrower or True-Name killing them. And it would let me safely play True-Name next turn. It's close. I could play Silvergill and try to dig for Dismember, because I don't think I didn't bring Suspend in, right? No, I did not. I don't. Yeah, Silvergill could find also a land, so I could play then Master, but that seems greedy. I mean, this still might be a scenario where just attacking with 2 Harbingers and just putting them to 6 is still fine. Um, hmm. um, yeah, that if I found another Dismember right now, that would probably be best. The only thing that sucks, if I play Silvergill, they might respond with like Plague Engineer, and then the only thing I have left on the table is Harbinger in the face of these, like an Engineer and a Knight. That would not be good. So, I don't know how well that line works. Whereas, like, yeah, like if I attack with these two, they go to 6. I could flash in Borrower if they play it, like, yeah, at the end of their turn, and then threaten to like try to get there that way. If they don't play Engineer, then maybe I might draw a land so I can play both of these, or I could just take the chance on True-Name. I think that it's worth being aggressive, though. 6 life is a very, very radically different number than 8. Like, they can block and kill one right now, but there's a, yeah, like, I think they have to block, but I think I want them at 6, and then I think that I just pass and play Borrower. Because the flying makes sure that, like, even if they engineer me on Merfolk, I have Borrower, so that's fine. Okay. It's not fantastic, but I can deal with this. Liliana is actually kind of clunky right now. I don't really need the Harbinger right now, so... It's pretty good. Alright. And the right thing to do here might just be to play True-Name and force them to deal with both Borrower and True-Name in order to live. Okay, what's going on? What are you going to find with this knight here? Mazavith? Okay, that makes sense. They're going to have to dedicate Maze to this every turn. So, in this case, now that I'm... Alright, now I'm thinking Silvergill might be the way to go. It's Liliana. Like, I can probably discard whatever I draw with this. I'm just worried that if I play True-Name first, I could be in trouble, so... Whereas, like, if... Yeah, I think that this is the best way to do this. Alright. I will just discard the island to the Liliana. Because this also now gives me a ton of draws where, like, if I draw, like, a Merfolk Trickster or something, you know, that actually helps a lot. Okay, sure. It's interesting that they use the Abrupt Decay on that. That has to mean that, like, they're saving Engineer for this True-Name. Like, that has to be it. I can't fathom any other reason why they would do this. Like, they're just holding back with Engineer to try to get this thing. That's also pretty good, too. I can Glasspool copy the Brazen Borrower. Alright. So the correct thing for them to actually name would be, Rogue. I don't know. We'll see if they forget about Maze of Ith. I'm sure they won't. Endurance. Oh, that's rough. Okay, well. They had the mana this time. Alright, I didn't even think about that they have... Endurance has flash, damn it. Alright, that's dumb. But I mean, I don't know. That was probably dumb for me to maze check them anyway, so... Alright, we'll see if they have... If they have Engineer now, I'm in... Oh no, they have fucking Liliana. They're gonna minus it. Attack for 10. So I just need them not to have it at this point. Because I have to play this True-Name and then copy it. Yep. That was dumb on my part to just throw away this Borrower. That could have actually just been our game right there. Yeah, 10 it is. It's fucking stupid. Oh, they're just going for maximum damage here. Yeah, that makes sense. Alright, basically, we just need this thing to live. So we need to Glasspool copy it, so right now we block, and the next turn we have to go block, block, and then we can get there. So that's basically just how this goes. It's also a thing. I guess I'm gonna cast the Tide Shaper first. Just in case something terrible happens here. Because then I can at least copy it with Glasspool. So if I don't die this turn, I actually just win, so... I need to not die here. Because the True-Names can get through the Maze of Ith. No, it's not going to work, though, because if they have the Sageri step, they can give this thing Pro Blue and attack and kill me. Alright, well, I guess that we just have to hope that they don't have it. I don't know if every list plays it, but I think that it does. Which, if that's the case, then yeah, that's. I need them to not have that. So, but if they have that, then they have the line of doing that. Um, I don't attack with this just because if they don't have it, then they could also use like swords and Tide Shaper and get there that way. I don't want to let them do that. All right, if they draw Plague Engineer, it's over. So, all right, let's see. What do you have in your deck? I think if I played a little bit tighter, that this game was within grasp. But now it's coming down to it's going to be like a coin flip in this turn to see whether they actually have it or not. I would think that if they did, then this turn would be going a lot faster. So I guess maybe now they're trying to calculate their own odds, seeing if they need to like fetch and use night to find something here. But I don't think they have enough mana, or I don't know if they can do this, right? Can you? No, they don't have the ability to get like a Merit Lodge right now, unless they'd have to have like crop rotation in hand. So yeah, again, we don't actually know if they are playing it or not. So we'll have to see. This is going to be the thrilling conclusion, I guess. All right. What are they going to find? They could find like Radiant Fountain too if that could be a card. Blast Zone on 1? Okay. So 4. Oh, okay, I see. They're going to blow up all the true names. That makes sense. They have to kill off their own Knight and Endurance in order to not die. Sick. Alright, well, the game goes on, I guess. This has to mean they don't have the protections land in their deck. Because if they did, they would have just found that this turn. Sure. So nobody's going to have a board here. Unless we, like, so here's where if we can draw, like, a Lord of Atlantis, copy it with Glasspool, like, we're in the driver's seat. So then that lets us attack for 3 and then potentially another 3. But we need to, like, we need to force them to crack Blast Zone. That's not the card we needed to draw here. Alright, use your Blast Zone. This sucks. We're close to like winning here, but like if this was a creature, like if we drew a creature for this would have actually been awesome. Cabal Pit. Alright, I guess that makes sense. They want to find removal, so if I do find a creature I can't use it, so I guess I'm keeping this island in my hand, and now we're just kind of in a top deck war. Where we've already used 2 true names, but if we find another one that's great. Sure, Aether Vial. Why not? Alright, we gotta find something. This like who's gonna find a thing first? It looks like not us. Green Sun Zenith is a good one. So I think we're kind of in like interact or die territory once again. Grist. Oh, that's fucking terrible for us. I think we need True-Name Nemesis. That's a thing, I guess. They don't have black mana up for this right now, so I could just play this copy and try to find something. I guess I have to. Come on, Silvergill. I can't cast that. All right, right. So okay, so this. All right, it is what it is. Come on. No! Why? Why do you do this to me? I want to win so badly. Uh Alright, Grist is just gonna end our entire existence now. Like that was our turn. We had to find it like there. Alright, now I think we're in trouble. Um they have Cabal Pit to kill off one of these things, and they're just making a bunch of insect tokens that we can't really deal with. Oh no, they found like oh god. It's not getting better, it's getting worse. Okay. They're gaining a bunch of life. They take away the Aether Vial. Why? The Aether Vial doesn't do it. I guess they're just ticking it up, but it like doesn't actually matter. No, they ticked it down for this, right? I think you should be like plussing this. Fuck me. Alright, are we dead yet? They attack with two of these. I have to block one. They can kill off the other one. Like, I think at this point we're basically dead. We just flooded out here at the end. Opponent just hit like two fucking gargantuan bombs and Green Sun Zenith and then Kaya. Like even this like Cabal Pit is actually like a really good hit. We're stuck on 8 lands and like 2 Aether Vials. Yeah, good games. Like I am reasonably sure that I'm just lost here. They just kill one of these, like yeah, or that Grist just ultimates, sure. It was close. We were like really right there, so damn it. Alright, well, still like that match was within reach. Like we could have potentially got there, so I think it was fine. We didn't get there, but like that's about as good as we're gonna make that match. And maybe if I had played a little bit tighter, it was possible to win there. It could have been. I'm not sure. I imagine it probably would have been. If I kept the borrower in play, then like maybe copying borrower and having 2 flyers would have been enough to push through damage. It I think that could be the case. So all right, but in any case, like what this is doing is it's prepping me for like okay, here's all like the new cards that are being played in these decks because I haven't played Legacy in a long time. So the last like couple leagues that we've been playing are giving me a good idea of what I can expect my opponents to cast. So here's like all the Modern Horizon stuff that have been added to these decks since like the last time I might have seen some of these lists with like before War of the Spark was even a thing. So I haven't played a lot of Legacy. Well, maybe not that far back, but like like yeah, it's been a while. So that was close. All right, we're on the play for the last one here. This is fine. I'll keep it. Okay, they're not doing anything here, so I think that I'm just gonna play an island pass because I can play Tide Shaper in turn 2 if need be. Or yeah, we'll see what they do because maybe this is a deck where Force is going to be relevant. Yeah, this is definitely going to be a deck where Force is going to be fucking relevant. This is Dredge, and we absolutely want to force this nonsense. I am not letting them cast Faithless Looting. And here's also what I'm gonna do. I'm going to turn this into an island so that they can't cast more Faithless Lootings off of it. Probably pitch the Brazen Borrower, because I think True-Name's a little bit better. What are you going to do with this? Breakthrough? Absolutely fucking not. I am not letting you get away with it. That you're going to have to work a little bit harder for that. It's been a really long time since I played against Dredge. Alright, so they might flashback Faithless Looting here. Sure. So they got 2 Golgari Thugs in the graveyard. Alright. We're, like, close to killing them anyway. Like, we've slowed them down enough where we actually have a fair bit of pressure, so... Like, them dredging 4 is not the end of the world. It was not a very good dredge. That's awful. They're just gonna discard their hand here. Oh, they like... Okay, they have Ashen Rider in their hand. Alright, so... There's Bridge. So we might need Island Walk soon. Alright, well they managed to dredge a lot here. Yeah, I can't do very much about that. And they're gonna just go off here now. I needed something. I don't know. Game like this was just ridiculous that they like cast 2 breakthroughs and a Faithless Looting, so it's not enough. They have Cabal Therapy probably here, so sure. Um I'll sure. That's fine. This doesn't matter. They have the ability to cast Dread Return now. I think. Maybe. Maybe not. They're obviously gonna take True-Name Nemesis with it. No, this is non-token, right? So they can't do this yet. They have 8 cards left in their deck. All right. I think that I think that Icarid's gonna come back here. They can sacrifice it and make some tokens with Bridge from below. That can then return. Where's their other thing? Yeah, like this should be like their combo turn. So I guess maybe if we draw like, I guess maybe if we draw an Island Walker, maybe we're not dead yet. Well, this feels like it's over. Sure, they have like a million zombie tokens, so I guess a Lord could get there if they pass to us. No, they're gonna get rid of this Tide Shaper for sure. They have to get rid of Tide Shaper, right? No, they got rid of their own island. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, all right. Sure, fine. All right, that's a line that works. They have more than enough tokens in play to not die. They would have to screw up really hard to lose at this point, so it's like we are very dead. Let them have fun. Alright, we lose. Game 1 against Dredge is always just going to be very, very difficult, and there's not really a whole lot you can do about it, so... what you can do, however, is bring in Force and bring in Grafdigger's Cage. Against this deck... Yeah, like, basically, like, none of this shit matters. Yeah, we need Cage. Take out all the dinks. Sometimes True-Name can go through their board, but really, once they start establishing a board, you're probably fucked anyway, so I don't really believe in this a whole lot. Like, again, for similar reasons, like, Harbinger doesn't do very much. It's just, the thing is, like, they cost less mana to put stuff into play. You can actually have Null Rods, too, because it turns off stuff like Lion's Eye Diamond. Like, this isn't useless. But we have to take out a lot of cards as is. Like, we're bringing in... I think we need to bring in Forces, and then we just bring in Cages and just pray. Borrower is, like, sort of fine, but... you know what? It's actually probably not great, because they do have, like, Narcomoebas that can block it, so... I think that I just... Like, it probably has to be True-Name Nemesis. Like, just playing these as random dinks is probably better. I could even, like, bring in the Null Rods in favor of, like, Harbinger. Because if I ever cast this, like, it's probably... I don't remember. Did they actually show me an LED? I think they had it. Like, they normally do play it, so... It turns it off. I should have actually been paying attention to that when they put that card in their graveyard. Yeah, there's Lion's Eye Diamond, so this does stuff. It turns off Aether Vial, but, like, whatever, it's fine. Still have 24 creatures to kill them with. I think just bringing in as many cards to interact as possible is correct. This doesn't actually slow them down at all, so I don't want to keep this. I guess I'm going to keep this, but I'm not terribly happy about it. I just need to, like, force an LED or something. Try to find Grafdigger's Cage. It's not a lot, but it's something. Faithless Looting. Ugh, fuck. Like, I have to counter that. It does just slow them down by a full turn. Okay, it would have been nice if I knew I was going to find that. Alright, what are you going to name here? I think they usually name, like, Lord of Atlantis. Unless they're going to go after, like, Force or something. Like, if the card that people know that is in this deck is Lord of Atlantis. I don't think they usually name these two. They named True-Name Nemesis. Okay, that's interesting. I'm actually very interested by that. Okay. Well, that's good. Mutavault means that we get in 6 damage next turn. Well, they're dredging, but... Wispmare's in the graveyard, at least. They fucking drew shenanigans? Are you kidding me? Fuck! They just had it the whole time. That's so rude. We don't have enough pressure, right? Or no, you know what? If they don't have a blocker, we would have enough pressure. But no, they found Narcomoeba here, so damn it. That's because this would have been 4/4. Yeah, it would have been exactly 11. Now they can block this and they can just take like 7. Like we're probably fucked. Like we need to draw another Grafdigger's Cage essentially. If we and even now it might be just too late. Which it would slow them down a little bit. They have Shenanigans in the graveyard, so that's terrible. Okay. The names. Oh, they're doing it to themselves. Fuck. All right. Wait, why? Just let me win. I guess they didn't see the line. Do you have something, or are you just dying? Okay, sure. We are gifted game 2 by the opponent. All right, sure. We'll take it. All right, we just have to run it back, I guess. That's... All right, neat. What a fucking upset that was. They, like, had it by the balls. They just had to... The Cabal Therapy was just so fucking greedy. If they just kept the creature back just to block one of my guys, I think they could have done it. Like they would have been able to dredge a whole bunch and probably make a ton of tokens with bridge from like it seems like they might have been able to get there. At least that's my read on it. All right. Well, sure, fine. Let's see if this is fine. They mulled to 6. I don't think that this is going to work. This is not great either. I guess it has a force. They mulled a 5. I guess I'm going to keep it, put an Aether Vial in the bottom, and then we're probably pitching Lord of Atlantis and just praying. They go to 4. All right, well, maybe we can get there if we just force something. Mull to 3. Okay, that's great. We might get game 3 because they just mull to Oblivion and just like force one card, and that just could be enough. The thrilling conclusion versus Dredge. All right. Do you want to go to 2? Can I interest you in 2 cards, opponent? or do you just gonna keep like LED and then just pray? LED like 2 Dredge cards. Maybe they're hoping I just kept like Grafdigger's Cage or something. Nope. All right. They have nothing in turn 1. That's very good for us, because now it means that we have pressure. Right. Breakthrough. No, thank you. So they had to have just drawn that too. I guess Grafdigger's Cage would probably be good here. Alright, that's also fine. Sure. We'll probably take Vial up to 3 so we can get those in play. Unless we draw a land, in which case Vial Lord and copy it with Glasspool would be great. Okay. You've got a breakthrough. You really worked for it. You have no cards in hand, so you're just dredging and hoping. That's not bad. Uh-huh. I don't think that it matters. I'm going to put it into play with the Aether Vial. I don't think there's any reason I need the mana, but sure, I'll keep it just in case. Force wasn't a terrible draw, so like if something starts going badly, like Force is a thing that we can at least do. Nothing really happened on that dredge, so that's fine. Tick this up. I guess I'm copying a Lord here, so I attack for 7, and then like I have lethal. I could have also played the other Glasspool and copying a Lord. That was a line. All right. All right, they had nothing. They failed to like do anything with their dredge. All right. We beat dredge. It's dredge is definitely difficult with just 3 cages, but we managed to get there. All right, let's look at our deck list here. I think overall like the list definitely felt like it was fine. I I sort of want like an extra copy of Suspend, but I have no idea what. Like maybe I could cut like a Glasspool Mimic and then play like a Suspend in the main deck or something, or like a Force in the. I could put 1 Force in the main deck and then just like the other 3 in the side. That's an option. Because I mean, like having an extra Force main does give us more game against like Doomsday and stuff like that. So I could see it. And then against Delver, that's 3 cards that we can side in. So, you know, we take out Forces and we have Suspends to bring in. It does suck, though, because then we have like 5 cards to take out. So we're still left with like 2 Forces, and then, but we'd have 3 Suspends, so maybe it'd be okay. So that might be where I end up with this. So, like, yeah, just drag one of these over and then like add one to the sideboard. So something like this might be what I play this weekend. Otherwise, like I think that this is about as good as it's gonna get for the like. Realistically, I don't really think that we're gonna improve this list any further. So, it's gonna come down to needing to play well and probably needing a little bit of help with the pairings. But that's how most tournaments are. So, I mean, I think that I'm reasonably happy with how we almost stole the game against Maverick. Or guess what? The 4-color deck again. It's always hard to tell exactly what they're doing because there's a few different decks that are like very similar to that. So, but like I think that we should be able to beat Delver if they don't have like an amazing draw. I think that we have about as close of a matchup as we're gonna get against the Knight of the Reliquary decks. I don't reasonably like think that we can improve our combo matches anymore. Like if Doomsday is just gonna go turn 1 fucking Doomsday, you need to just have Force in hand. You need to soul read your opponent and just know that you have to keep a hand with Force. And sometimes that means you might keep like mediocre like 6 or 7 card hands that just have like Force and 2 creatures and like Aether Vial or something like that. But there you'll see like I do that sometimes game 1 in the blind just because if you do it in the right game 1, like it does just instantly like win if they just go for it and they have nothing like they burn their hand on just like turn 1 ritual Doomsday and they don't really have a follow-up to that, like can definitely like get you in that game. But otherwise, like, yeah, the Null Rods I think are good in the sideboard. Like I think that there will be enough decks to justify them being there. So, like they're definitely going to be like Karn players and Storm players for sure. And even against like they're not useless against Dredge as we saw. Bringing them in for LED is definitely fine because like if they ever top deck LED, it's a way to stop them from discarding their hand into their graveyard because Grafdigger's Cage is not great because you saw like once Shenanigans gets into the graveyard, things go south very quickly because then they can like dredge it back and blow it up. But it buys you some time, and that's really all we can do is like force the spells that are putting cards into the graveyard, and then try to buy yourself some time until you can force through a victory. So, and I mean, yeah, you have to just kind of take a chance, and that's just how it is. I mean, it's a little bit more helpful if you play stuff like Relic or even like Surgical Extraction. Like that can help sometimes if you nail the right card. Surgical is like kind of eh. Relic is a little bit better because it does get rid of the graveyard. Some people have tried like Tormod's Crypt because it's a little bit better against Reanimator. Being able to play something for 0 mana on turn 1 means that you have a turn 1 play that shuts off their graveyard through Chancellor of the Annex, which is very nice, but it's also like not dead against stuff like Hogak or Dredge. But I am just hoping that Grafdigger's Cage is just going to buy us enough time against those decks because like card is still really good. Like if it's something they do have to answer it before they can win, and like you are bringing in all the forces to protect it anyway. So it just contributes towards having a critical density of hate. So, and I think Cage is probably a little bit better against stuff like Hogak, where they want if they want to like bring like it stops them from actually like casting Hogak. So that is nice. They'll have some stuff like Force of Vigor, but hopefully you can like Force of Will it back, and then they're just like stuck without play. So you do have to fight over your cage to protect it, but in the right matches, like it is really strong. Like it, and like it's like I like for Reanimator, the same thing. They have to actually remove the cage before they can like really do anything. So, but overall, I think this is like about where I need this to be. Like I said, having played through now like 15 matches of Legacy on stream here, I do feel a little bit better. Like I've learned a lot about how some of these decks operate. So when I'm playing them in paper, hopefully I will be doing, or I'll be able to make better informed decisions about it. So we'll see how it goes. And you know what? Maybe things will just go south and I'll just get paired up against like Turbo Depths in like the first round and just get like annihilated or something. I don't know. That's entire or like elves. Elves or goblins are probably like the worst. Elves is I actually don't know which one is worse. They're like both basically unwinnable, so we'll see. But like it's always possible you just end up playing against those. Like I know there are a lot of people that show up to these events that do like to play goblins because the deck is pretty popular. It's cool. I like goblins. Like that would be a deck that I would really consider playing in Legacy. If I wasn't playing Merfolk, goblins would probably be like top 5 picks for me that I would want to play that. So, all right, that's all I've got for today. In about 40 minutes to an hour, I'm going to be going on Hannibal and Monty's shit show. So if you were watching this now, then you can go. I will tweet out a link to it when it's live, so you can come check that out. Then, otherwise, you go check out the replay for it. Then you can always check me out in the stream on the replay if you're not there tonight, and you're just if you see this on YouTube and you hear about this. Oh, you did a podcast? Where is it? Well, you can definitely go and find. I don't think that this. If the link is up, I'm going to put it in the chat here. Yeah, okay. So, I think this works. Yeah, okay. I think this is going to be. So you can see where it is. There we go. And so you can see they do their podcast on YouTube on Wednesdays, and I'll give you the schedule in a second. Yeah, there we go. Yep. So, in just like I said, just under an hour, we should be going. At new episodes on Monday, Wednesday, Friday on YouTube. So it's fun. They're comic book artist and a sound a beat and producer. So he's awesome. Like his music is great. So champion beat battle undefeated like fucking 44 times or some nonsense like that. He's like one of the most winning producers in the world. And yeah, Monty does insanely awesome like comic book art, so you should definitely go check it out. Anyways, that's all I'm doing for tonight. So I will see you guys over there if you are coming to check it out, or otherwise, next week we'll play something that's not Legacy. I know we've been on this bent for a while. We'll play more Legacy in the future for sure. Oh, I meant to take this out. Yeah, we will definitely play more Legacy in the future. But we'll mix it up. We'll go back and play some different decks in Modern, or maybe even we'll play some Pioneer, like, because I know Modern seems to be the thing that most people like enjoy the most. Whereas I think I had the most fun playing Legacy right now, but I understand. Like, oh, I'm willing to play Modern, but maybe I'll play like Nikachu's Mono Blue Yorion list. That's entirely possible. That could be on the schedule. So. All right, that's all I've got for tonight, everybody. I will see you again next time. Come check me out, like I said, on the shit show if you haven't yet. So I'll see you later. Bye.